Hey, what's up? This is Smitty, and this is my 3 tips for gaining strength. Join me while I eat a Snickers and a protein shake. I just finished training, I'm a little bit pooped. Been asked a couple of times, just a very vague question, if you got any tips for gaining strength, and my answer is normally pretty damn boring, and it's the same every time, so I thought I'd make a quick video and come up with another couple of extra tips to give you guys. I am going to eat a Snickers, I'm going to drink a protein shake, because I'm well balanced like that. For today's video, we are going to watch me spend 5 minutes on a belt squat march. I'm literally just marching on a belt squat machine for 5 minutes. It was horrible, and we can relive it over and over again via this video. So my first tip, and what I say to everyone for gaining strength, it's quite boring, but the answer is just to be patient. Patience is my number 1 tip. Don't aim for certain numbers yet. Don't aim to chase certain people or anything like that if you're just starting out. If your max deadlift is 100 kilos, boy or girl, your goal needs to be 105 kilos, not 200, not whatever the next competition is. If it's 150 for reps, I think your goal should still be 105 kilos. And you'll get there fast, you'll get there eventually, and you'll get there safely, and you can just keep building. Anyone that sees progress too fast, normally, from what I've seen, ends up hurting themselves, and you ain't gaining strength when you're injured. You go backwards, so just aim slow. I've been doing it for a while. I just added 5 kilos to my deadlift every competition, which might be 3, 4, 6 months in between. I remember at one competition, on my 3rd attempt for deads, I hit 265 kilos, which was a 5 kilo PB at the time, and I got asked, why didn't you go for 272 kilos, a 600 pound deadlift? And I said, because that wasn't my goals. 265 was a PB, and I hit it, it was good, and then I hit 270, 8 months later or something like that, and then 280, 282, blah, blah, blah. There'll be a time where I don't care if I hit 297.5 kilos. If it's slow, steady and safe progress, I'm not going to chase that 300 kilo deadlift and risk hurting myself in training or anything like that. Just ain't worth it. Excuse me. Sorry. My second tip for gaining strength is to try everything. Try different programs, try different ways of training, train at different places with different people. I've done a 5x5 linear progression, as well as Jim Wendler's 5-3-1. DUP style training, I really liked that at the time. CrossFit, bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, even though they all use a blend of each other. Just keep trying different things, try different programs. Just make sure that program makes sense to you and your goals and why you're doing it. I'm a massive fan of the conjugate method, or the West Side Barbell method way of training at the moment, which is far from DUP, the daily undulating periodization, which I followed for a little while. It's like the exact opposite of that style of training, but at the time, that made a lot of sense to me. I did CrossFit for a long time, and I gained some great knowledge and learned some new things from that, which I still implement in my strongman training. Strongman and powerlifting have very similar methodologies, and bodybuilding I've never stopped doing. So I take what I like from certain programs and leave the rest. So try not to just listen to people, friends, people on the internet. Learn what advice to take and learn what to ignore. More importantly, and just remember that what works for you might not work for everyone, and vice versa. There's been some tips for me to grow my chest that I've read over the years that just don't work at all. Due to my body type and my hunched shoulders and big upper back, the movements that grow some people's chests, they don't even touch mine, so I've had to learn other things. And in the same amount of time, my deadlift has skyrocketed without really having to do too much, and that's the opposite to a lot of other people. They really struggle with their deadlift. So for me, I have to realize that what I do isn't going to work for everyone, so I can't just tell the people that I coach what I do to get my deadlift up. I need to figure out what muscle groups they're missing or their technique and things like that to help them. So what works for you won't work for everyone, and vice versa, which takes me on to number 3. My 3rd tip for gaining strength is to focus on the little things. So I mentioned technique just now, and that's not really a little thing, it's a pretty damn big thing. But things like technique, your food, so nutrition, Making sure you're getting enough calories, knowing how many calories you need, knowing your macros and what each macro does for your body and how much you need, tracking those things. Are you prioritizing food? Are you prioritizing technique by filming your lifts and analyzing your lifts? Are you prioritizing sleep, getting naps in where you can, or going to bed a little bit earlier, things like that? All those little things over 3, 10 more years, they're going to make a massive difference on how much you can lift and how strong you are. And I'm finished on the belt squat, which means we've finished this little speech, but will watch me struggle a little bit when I unhook this. This was at obviously a commercial gym, and I went to carry on a little bit here because my butt was so sore. You can see I stumble and then fall over, and I felt like a bit of a dick, so I got straight back up because I'm tough like that. So thanks for tuning in. Any questions, let me know. If you want help with your nutrition, I'm currently cutting weight for the Arnolds and training for the Arnolds. If you want to learn how to eat Snickers and drink protein shakes and get to the Arnolds, check out the website for nutrition and or programming. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Really good workout and be fine with one plate.